The leader of the Booner pack. I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Booner, and Lukas. It is Friday, May 30th. Currently, Boone was just here. I think he's dealing with some internet issues.
Possibly.
So he'll be back. I assume,
so.
Or he just. I think he's alive. I'm pretty sure he's alive.
Maybe one of those tornadoes finally touched down.
Yeah.
It's something in the air on Fridays, man. I was struck by it last week, but Boone give me a lot of shit. He has to answer the call now, hold himself accountable, missing the Friday show. Tyler Conklin joining. Can't miss that, Boone. Can't miss that. I can't wait.
Yeah, T-Conks joining 8:30. Couldn't yesterday. Had schedule conflict, but he's going to be here today. So we'll get to talk to him about now he's with the Chargers, his camp coming up here locally at Lance Cruz North. And I think Boone, I don't think he's in a tornado, but
You got to
here
put
he's
the speaker on. Yeah, you got to put it up.
Hey, I'm putting you on speaker for the show, all right?
Are we under? Is this a war?
Hey,
American war?
you're a lot. You people can hear you. What's going on, Boone?
Yeah. Is this a war?
What do you mean? I don't.
Did you guys lose power?
No.
Did the cell towers get killed by like terrorists or something? What's going on?
Did the tornado get you, or is it what's going on?
Something's happened, dude. There's no. I'm shocked. I didn't have any service. The cell towers. I'm out. I guess I might be out for the night. What's going on here? I think we're in a war.
Bro, what are those Call of Duty? Like they wipe out all the
UAV, man. That's
I'm outside in a parking lot right now, looking around to see what's going on. I don't know. There's no people. Whoa! Do you hear that?
No.
You don't hear this?
Tornado siren?
Bro, what is I think we might be in a war.
What is going on? Send him the link from his phone.
It's a tornado siren in the background, dude.
I think what if I start seeing parachutes come out of the sky or something?
Dude,
It's like Red Dawn.
You're like in a Michael Bay movie. What's going on over there?
Hey,
huh?
send him the link, Jeff, so he can FaceTime us.
Hey, yeah, join from your phone, Boone. I'm gonna send it to you.
Hey, send the link. Oh my god.
Bro, what the fuck is going on?
He says, what if people start falling from the sky, parachuting?
That's
Red Dawn.
He said, "Are we at war?" That's what he just said. Here, Boone's gonna join. That was the most timely. Sometimes in comedy, it just makes itself. Dude's talking in the background. You're
Imagine if that's the way that we find out, like, the U.S. was getting invaded, like firsthand. Boone on a YouTube on Crunch Time Sports.
Yeah,
he's getting to it before Fox News, CNN, MSNBC.
He's always wanted to break news.
Joe
He's
Rogan.
breaking news. He's breaking news right now, I think. So I think Boone's out. He's out for the game. A reason
I would rule him out.
Yeah, I'd probably rule him out. We'll probably get him on the show. But yeah, we got a lot of OTA stuff to get to. We got T-Conk OTAs. I got footage. Dan Campbell speaking up. Jameson Williams. He had some quotes today. He had some of the players speak. So we'll get to all that. We'll get Boone, the weatherman, joining in a second. We'll see if he can join. And we have him live from Imlay City. It is Booner. Booner, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm back at my desk, my studio here. Confirmed there are no parachuters jumping down from the sky at the moment. So we are good and clear. I'll say this, no light. I'm on my phone's I'm on my hotspot right now and I have no power, so I have no light. So if it starts to get dark outside, I start to get darker. That's how it's going to work tonight, I guess. Wow. When Cog hops on today, if he's coming on, I'll just hop off until he's done. I only have one question I want to ask him. I just want to see if we can get these routes going at his camp, me versus him. That's all I want to talk about with him. So
wait, Boone. So you are on your hotspot, and you don't obviously can't charge your phone.
Yeah, so, no, my phone might die at some point. I have 22% left on my phone. I should plug it in on my computer.
You're thinking now, but the adversity that you're fighting here, I respect it. Honestly, it does not look that bad, Boone. It doesn't.
No, there's zero light, and I honestly couldn't tell you boys what's actually happening here. It like everything flickered, and all cellular things were gone. I shot a million texts out. I tried to call Jeff 10 times. Nothing worked. There was a 5-minute period of my life. I genuinely thought that like Russia just took us over, and I thought we were done. I thought it was cyber warfare. I thought we were going through cyber warfare.
You just said Russia,
and I was a little worried. If I'm being honest. I'm transparent with the people.
That is, yeah.
I think when there's the next big war, I think it's a cyber warfare. Sorry for hijacking the show, boys. That was really
Joe Rogan. We're diving into cyber warfare, and geez, dude. I mean,
you would be like the modern day Paul Revere, then, Boone, in that situation.
Yeah, you're alerting.
Notice that Russia, they're here. They're not coming. They're here.
The Russians are coming. The Russians.
Booner,
my cousin just texted me. By the way, I'm in the office building. Okay, I know exactly what happened. This is scary. I need to go outside in a second. My cousin just texted me. I'm in an office building that my cousins own. Shout out to them for letting me have an office space. There was an explosion near you. Not a joke. There's an explosion in a fire around me. Hopefully it doesn't reach me. I told you guys, I'm in war.
Wait, what were the sirens for then?
There was an explosion. That was for, I guess, like fire trucks. Like, hey, we need help. There's an explosion.
Oh, it was an actual. Okay, it wasn't like a tornado siren. It was actual sirens, like from fire trucks and shit. Well, we got Boone for the time being. We got Boone for the time being.
Rob Parker's seeking his revenge. You're lucky it went off over there and it didn't reach its actual destination. Rob Parker heard you, Boone. He's retaliating. Old school car bomb.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Imagine. Oh my gosh.
Rob
That's
Parker.
Scary stuff.
This is the get back. You want to talk big? Okay.
There's no way that you'll even know it's him.
Yeah. Rob Parker has something to say.
What's crazy is I actually did have breaking news for the people today that I wanted to give out. And I don't know if I'm able to do it. Let me know when you guys want it. I don't know if it's like actual breaking, but I have sources that are
OTAs?
I have sources that there are some things going on, what I told you. And I got confirmation from my friend that it's printed out so I can say it.
Let's get to it. We got time. Let's get to it right off the rip. Before your phone dies or something. Yeah. Let's get your thoughts on.
Hold on. Let me shut my door real quick.
This guy's
Russia can't hear this one.
This guy's on like no way. Nintendo right now. This connection.
I might have to hop off because my cousins are coming over here in a minute to check out all the bombs and everything. Not actually, but all right. Breaking news though. The doc texted me. There are 2 players currently not at OTAs. One, we all know Alex Anzalone is not at OTAs because, and I don't know if you guys will probably play it later in the show, Jack Campbell. In my opinion, the Jack Campbell comments, it's definitely contract negotiations, and there's a little boom there with the Detroit Lions and Alex Anzalone. But the second player, all-pro center, Frank Ragnow. And source John the Doc Macaroon tells me that he can confirm the reason that Frank Ragnow is not at OTAs. Your starting center is unhappy with his contract with the Detroit Lions. And the doc just wrote about it. Go check it out on Detroit Lions NSI. He wrote about it. Frank Ragnow he's going into this year about to make $8 to $9 million. The highest paid center, which Frank, you would have to say is the top 5 center in the NFL. The highest paid center currently in the NFL is Creed Humphrey, around 17 to 19 million range. The reports are that Frank is not there based off of contracts and he wants a new contract. I don't know all of that, but he is just unhappy because of that. That's the doc had texted me about it. I was a little shocked. I was like, wow, like unhappy. And he said, connect the dots. He's only getting paid $8-9 million this year. And the best centers in the NFL are double his price. So It makes sense. I don't know how like big of a deal it actually is. Obviously he's not at OTAs, and your center not being at OTAs, pretty big deal. even though it's voluntary. But Dan today also said, hey, I've spoke with the two guys not here. Everything's going fine. Things are good. But either way, you connect the dots, you know what's going on. Both guys obviously want an extension or some type of restructure to get paid more. And I feel like those are two pretty important pieces. The center of your defense and the center of your offense, both not at OTAs. The only two guys not at OTAs are the centers of both sides of the ball. So breaking news. Frank Ragnow supposedly, allegedly unhappy with his current contract and not at OTAs.
I think that's brutal. Kind of goes back to what we were saying when we were talking about Anzo. When it comes to contracts, guys, you got to make tough decisions. And if you're telling me that Frank Ragnow needs to be restructured or adjusted to be paid his fair value, if I'm being completely honest with you, Lucas, you got to make Frank just became the priority if that's the case.
Yeah.
He like Anzo is from what we've known, it's Anzo. It's like, okay, well, let's see what happens. Short-term deal, preferably, but ideally you want to get that deal done. Now this Frank Ragnow comes up. This Frank Ragnow situation potentially came up. He rises on that pecking order, Klotz. I mean,
I would agree.
Yeah, and if you're talking about what he would probably make, if you were to pay Anzo, I mean, that could be like 60% of what you probably have to pay Frank, which would mean Anzo, love you, man. You're a great player. I just don't see a scenario where you re-sign or you can give Frank a raise, extend Anzo, and still sign all these players. So with the new information, I'm changing my opinion. Anzo, I wish you luck. Go get your money, my friend. Go get your money. Go get paid. But Frank Ragnow just became a priority, Lucas. Big time.
Yeah, and how much longer does Frank have on his contract?
He's got, okay, so I have it right here. So this year he's set to make a little over $9 million, $14 million cap hit, but his base salary is little over $9 million. He's under contract for this year and next year. Next year he's making 11.5. His cap hit's almost 16 though. So 9 and 11 the next 2 years for Frank Ragnow, which again, if you look at it, you'd probably say he's the top two center in the National Football League, and Creed Humphrey's making basically double what he's making.
Yeah.
So from Frank's perspective, that is fair.
So that is, I mean, you talk about that's probably going to be a $10 million plus. So we can rule out Zadarius Smith. Let's start there. Zadarius Smith.
That's tough.
Not happening. It's not if they want to bring back Frank for sure and Anzo for sure not happening. Maybe but Anzo's going to be on this roster. He's signed for another year regardless. So Anzo will be in Detroit. He's going to play. I don't see Anzo holding out for the season, but maybe after the season, like there's no shot of him coming back after trying to re-sign him in the offseason. But to your point, there's no way that you can have Frank Ragnow unhappy because Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, clearly the best offensive lineman. But when you talk about the importance of the center position, especially with Jared Goff, in this run-heavy offense and how consistent Frank is, regardless of the four toes on his right foot, he's still the second best center in the NFL, if not the first, now that Jason Kelce retired. And Creed Humphrey's very good, but Frank Ragnow is on his level. So there's games and months and weeks where Frank Ragnow is the better center. You can't afford to not have him there because if you do, and if Frank Ragnow were to hold out, especially if it's just for the first couple weeks of the season, that is a huge problem to have because he is, I would say, Penei Sewell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Frank Ragnow, as far as the best players on offense. So if you lose him, you're losing one of your most valuable players in a Super Bowl window where you're going up against tough teams, and you're not going to have Frank Ragnow in the NFL for much longer. So if he gets extended, I'd imagine it'd be like a 1-year deal, 2-year deal tops, but he's getting paid a lot of money in those 2 years. You have to find a way to make him happy because this truly is not a Super Bowl contending team if you don't have Frank Ragnow. You can't afford to go up against the Philadelphia Eagles with those defensive tackles, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with those defensive tackles, the Minnesota Vikings now with their defensive tackles. Jervon Dexter is very good for Chicago. Devontae Wyatt, really good for the Packers. They got a lot of good defensive ends or defensive tackles in the NFC, and it would be a huge issue if Frank Ragnow were to not be there even for a week. I mean, I think they get the deal done, obviously. There's no way that they don't. But it's just when you think about what Frank Ragnow truly means to this team, then you look at the $8 to $9 million that he's getting paid this year. Yeah, they should have went about this earlier. Obviously, you got to tend to other contracts before, but this has to be dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You hate losing players you really like, but it comes with it. You can't fall in love with players. You have to fall in love with the process. You have to fall in love with maybe the tough decisions and understand that there is going to be tough decisions. And center, to your point, give me a contender, I'll show you a pretty good center. I think most teams that are contenders have pretty good centers. I mean, you brought up the Eagles, the Chiefs. They were in the Super Bowl last year. 2 really good centers. The Eagles had a Hall of Fame center, and now they're going to a very good center in Cam Jurgens. So they have a great center. And then obviously the Chiefs have Creed Humphrey, which I would even say best center in the league. So it's important. And you saw, and I think AG's Booner put this in there too. I can't find the comment, but essentially, here we go. Last time he missed significant time, the play of the entire line dropped big time. I mean, of course it is. I mean, the center position, his responsibility is he has a ton on his plate. So yeah, it is, it's weird because you see teams in the NFL deal with this all the time, but then you never think to yourself that, it's going to happen to this team, But yeah, there's going to be tough decisions. Again, that's for Brad and them to figure it out. Now, how you structure those contracts is up to them. How they want to structure each contract so it favors them. You front load, back load. How much is up front? All this is signing bonus. So there's so much stuff that goes into it. Obviously, we're not paid to manage the cap, but what I am paid to do is, talk about it. And I would say just unequivocally, definitively, Frank Ragnow's that guy. So, yeah, you want to make sure.
And I'll say this, too. In moments like this, I always look back on it, especially. Aleem McNeil, he better earn that contract. If Aleem McNeil does not earn that contract, that'll be one of those things where it's not throwing off the whole organization, how it's moving, but we're having these conversations about Alex Anzalone,
right?
Brian Branch, now that Kirby Joseph is signed, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. What are we going to do with these guys? They signed Aleem early, and we've seen that it can pay off because obviously if you're going to get ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Hutchinson, Penei Sewell, that's going to age very well. But with Aleem, there's a little bit more questions, and you paid a lot of money. So if that doesn't pan out, that is a huge hit. And they drafted Tyleek. So it's not like they're going to be just, you paid a bad defensive tackle. Aleem's not bad by any means. Aleem's very good. But you paid him Quinnen Williams level money. So if he's got to be paying like Quinnen Williams, you better be playing like Quinnen Williams. So when he comes back from this ACL, these conversations that we're having right now, remember them. And I think it's fair to hold Aleem McNeil accountable to you got to be a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL because we have to have these conversations because you got paid a bag before that you truly earned it as far as the production. They're paying on projection, not production. So Aleem, he's got to step up.
Yeah, there's other players. I mean, that you brought it up originally, but you have guys like Taylor Decker making $20 million. And again, we all love Taylor Decker. Reality is Frank hasn't dipped his level of play, so that's another thing. I'll say this though. At least with Anzo, you have someone that can take over for post Anzo and Jack Campbell. You don't have a plan. Like Frank has all the leverage. You know what I mean? Like if Frank wants to raise, and if I'm Frank's agent, I know it's not really his MO. He's a team guy, humble guy, likes fishing. He doesn't cause any problems. But if I'm his agent, I'm going, hey Frank. I mean, these guys don't have a center. I mean, they don't have a plan to figure it out. You know what I mean? They don't. I mean, you have Graham, I guess, who could play center, but they don't have a Tate Ratledge to Graham. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he has all the leverage. Frank does. I know, but you can also say, well, the Lions have leverage too because he's under contract. So you don't want it to get to that point, though. You just want to take care of him at this point, really. Just take care of him. I mean, what has he got? 9 toes? It's $1 million a toe.
Basically.
$1 million a toe or $2 million a toe. Give him 18.
That's fair. Give him a half a toe too, because I'm sure it's not a fully lost toe. I'm sure there's still a nub there, at least a knuckle, maybe like the nail's gone. But I'd give him 9.5 toes.
Yeah,
give him 19 mil.
There you go, $2 million a toe. Take care of that man, dude. Well, we do have a lot of takeaways here. Shout out to John Macaroon. He posted an article breaking down kind of all the stuff that came out today. And now that Boone brought it up. I know it's been reported by, Doc and I saw Dave Burkett and all these people locally. So I don't know exactly who broke it. But now it makes sense why Doc wrote this, that it stuck out to him because the media was able to go to OTAs. One of those things, Ratledge taking first team reps at center.
Didn't think about that.
Now it ties in.
Yeah.
I still don't know what. I still think this is more just cross training. I'm not going to look too much into it, but I think it's interesting. It says Ratledge helmed the center spot, Mahogany to his left, and Graham to the right at the guard spot. Decker and Panay took their trademark spots at the left and right tackle positions, respectively. Ratledge and Glasgow would rotate at center with the other playing right guard. So they're basically trying to cross-train him to kind of be Graham, essentially, I guess. And the more I think about it, too, like we brought up how he is tall. Tate's like 6'6". Graham's like 6'6", and he's playing center. So I'm not going to say the height's too big of an issue. You know what I mean? If he could snap the ball. And we had the Georgia writer who wrote for the Georgia Bulldogs, covered them for a while. We had him on our show. And he went into how Tate at Georgia was like their emergency center. Like he was like their basically, if anything were to happen, he would slide to center in a pinch. So maybe there is that potential for Ratledge to play a little bit of center. I don't know if that's like a long-term thing or more like if you're in an emergency situation, but I'm surprised we're seeing more Tate than Miles Frazier, but I get it. He's probably a hell of an athlete and he's a hell of a player. So
yeah,
why not?
I mean, yeah, it's cool that Tate Ratledge is able to take snaps at center, but this is a fucking problem too. Like you drafted the player to be a guard and you have Christian Mahogany out there and Graham Glasgow, but you expect Tate Ratledge to go out there and start at guard this year. And I understand that he's probably still repping at guard as well. But when I think of Tate Ratledge being the second round, you traded up for him, I don't want his mind worried about anything else than learning the Lions offensive playbook at the guard spot. So this is just a problem, in my opinion. Obviously, Frank's going to come back, but this is something that I just think it's good that you're going to be able to get this experience. But Tate Ratledge should just be repping guard. I understand the point of Frank Ragnow's not there. Put Tate Ratledge in there. He's played center in a pinch before, to what you're saying, and get him that experience. But I just do not like this situation. I understand that it's something that has to be done because Frank Ragnow's not there, but it's an issue. It's an issue.
Yeah, it is. Well, it could be, I guess, if you look at it like that. I mean, the other takeaways he talked about in the article here is the first look at Hutch. Hutch looked explosive today. All right, that's what they were saying. He looked good, moving. It says here, sporting a sleeve on the injured leg. He was limited, but still. He appeared in good shape as he continues to regain his groove after being sidelined for a lengthy amount of time. And then I do want to play the Campbell clip on Hutch, so I'm not going to read too much of the quote because we actually have the actual clip. But he did right here, Jamison Williams looks stronger, which I guess is pretty significant. It says, after surpassing 1,000 receiving yards for the first time, expectations are once again rising for the impact he could have on this offense. The wideout has added muscle and appears stronger, which could help him handle physicality from DBs, whether it's against press or with the ball in the air downfield. Williams' frame appears to be ready to help him elevate to an even bigger threat for the offense. So, you know what I like about that too? Because receivers, like J-Mo, for example, the thing I take away from this positively, that's the side of the game that playing football is the easy part. Like, it's something you're just naturally gifted at. Like, all these guys, they're just football players, like they just go out there and make plays. When it comes to the work off the field, that's where you have to, that's the tough part, like that, the actual improving, working on yourself. Like, I think Dan brought it up, how Panay was one of the first ones in the weight room. Like, that's why he's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the guy's busting his ass in the weight room. It'd be easy for him just to wait till OTAs and go out there. He's Panay. He's big. He's strong. You know what I mean? But it's the work. And to see J-Mo doing that work, like, that to me is a sign. Not saying he wasn't, but it's a positive sign for maturity. It's growth. He's growing up. He's a pro. It's turning into a pro, man. You know what I mean? Like, every year you're getting your body right. He's handling the physicality of the NFL. He went through a whole season last year where he didn't have a ton of catches, but he produced. He put up 1,000 yards. Like, he wants to be, if you want to be a number one option in the NFL, like, you can't be skin and bones. You know what I mean? Like, look at Devonta Smith. Like, he came out, he was skin and bones. and he's handled himself. But look at who their number one is. I mean, AJ Brown's freaking yoked. You know what I mean? And he gets hit.
Freaking yoked. I agree.
He's yoked. You know what I mean? He's yoked. So for JMO, I think this is a great thing, especially because of all the talk about him having like a breakout year. Like, good for him, man. He's in the gym busting.
Hey,
it's awesome.
It is a great thing because he's going to be confident. Think about, like, say you're going to the gym. It's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. You get a good pump in. Look in the mirror. Like what you see. Feeling confident. Feel like you're about to go kick today's ass. Okay, JMO, it's going to be the same thing. He's going to get on the field. He's going to get more confident. He's going to see Jair Alexander compared to when he looked at him as a rookie. He'd be like, run this dude in the fucking bench. Now, will he? Who knows? But he's going to have that confidence because you know what? Jeff, what does Dion say? You look good.
You feel good.
You play good. Or you feel good. You feel good.
You feel good. You play good. You play good.
Play good. They pay good.
They pay good.
So JMO, he's hearing this contract talk. He's like, It might help me if when I get paid, I'm a little bit stronger. So when I carry these 20 M's, 30 M's, however much he gets paid, a little bit stronger. You can buy a little bit bigger clothing now. Instead of rocking the smalls and the mediums, you can wear the larges and the extra larges. But JMO, in all reality, he's going to be playing more confident. Maybe he gets adds that element of, you know what? I am a deep ball guy. I don't always get thrown the perfect ball by Jared Goff. Let me go up and get one now. Maybe we see JMO at the point of attack when he's high pointing the football, get a little bit stronger in doing that, gets more confidence. Obviously, the game's going to slow down for him, but he's such a deep threat that if he can add that element just a little bit, because he's already going to be burning guys, but if he can turn into a jump ball guy a little bit, another guy that I like that does it, I think, is somebody like Jordan Addison, small frame, but you see him just go up and get one sometimes, and he makes a hell of a catch. If JMO can add that, game over. Game over.
I can't wait, man. We'll get to it. We'll talk more OTAs. Right now, I want to bring on a friend of the show. He's doing some special things here locally in the future, which we want to raise awareness for, kind of chop it up with him, see how he's doing. And that is the Chesterfield legend himself. It's Tyler Conklin. Let's bring him on. Tyler, how are we doing, my man?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, brother. Hey, I mean, look at this guy. He's got he's lined up and everything.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? He's with the Chargers now. Tyler, before we get to the event thing, I want to ask you, how's your offseason been, man? You got a new team, new city. We'll get to all the other things I want to ask you, but how you feeling? How's your body feeling?
It's good, man. It's been an interesting little transition, right? All the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, and getting the family out here and situated. But we're excited about the opportunity here in California. The wife likes it out here. The baby likes it out here. So, it's been good.
Yeah, you won't have won't rain in the middle of May consistently and just have like 40-degree weathers in June.
It's been brutal in Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, you get it. Real quick, I want to tell the people kind of what to expect. So June 21st, you, of course, your wife as well, Lance Cruz High School North, right by my house as well. But even if you're not here locally, you can come and check it out. Youth Football Camp and Community Festival at Lance Cruz North. It's a $100 registration fee, ages 6 to 14. It's an awesome camp. You guys are doing special things out there. Again, June 21st. It's a Saturday. They got the youth session going on 2 to 4 p.m. You got the middle school session as well, ages 11 to 14, 5 to 7. So all day event. They got an invite-only high school showcase, 7 to 9. So, again, just giving back, getting these guys, again, if you have a son, nephew, brother, whoever it is, and you want to get better, this is the place to do it. I mean, they're going to have people out there promoting stuff. So before we get to all the details of it, can you just talk about the event? What should people expect? Why people should come out? Why have you been? What makes it special? Talk to the people a little bit about it.
I mean, I think kind of throughout the years of me being in the league, like everybody, so many players do like a camp, a youth camp, and it's usually like 6 to 14-year-olds, and you go in, you do a camp for a couple hours, you sign, you take pictures, you get out. And I've had a couple of different camps throughout the years. Whether it was high school showcases or trying to like find a space to help high school kids in our area get more recognition, because I feel like it's something we didn't have. And that landscape's just changed so much. So, finally, after a couple of years, this is kind of the vision that I wanted to bring to life. And really the goal is, to center a community day where, anybody, not just for football, but anybody in the area, anyone in the state that wants to come and, enjoy some football, but also have the opportunity to do a lot of different things. I mean, we're going to have like a vendor village with all types of different things. We got like, a guy coming in with mat with reptiles and stuff, so you can with snakes and different things to take pictures with. We got 3 different food trucks. We have
Come on now.
like a little sevens basketball tournament with a chance to win money.
I mean, this is a festival, Tyler. I mean, it's a whole festival you got
yeah,
going
a whole bunch of different people in the community that, whether it's a small businesses or, if they just do little unique things that are unique to them or their family and they want to come and set up a tent and promote what they do or just be a part of it. It was just really my goal to kind of, outside of football, bring as many people together in our community to kind of host a day that people look forward to coming to every year. And that also gives people opportunity for networking and outreach and to be a part of the community. Dog Aid, who we partnered with for when I cut my hair off and raise money, they'll be there partnering with somebody. There'll be dogs there that you can adopt or just pet if you don't want to, the responsibility of the dog on June 21st. There's all types of stuff. There's going to be stuff there's going to be bouncy houses for kids. If you have one kid that wants to be in the camp and one kid just wants to wander around and get food from the food truck or ice cream and go on the bouncy house, there's going to be a DJ. So outside of football, there's going to be tons of different things. And then football wise, I think the tough thing for me is it's hard to have 6-year-olds and 14-year-olds. So splitting it up and having it where, it's elementary for, 2 hours, middle school for 2 hours. And then, at night, it's going to be some of the top, tight ends, receivers, and then a couple, college or NFL guys. We're going to just do a workout, basically. I thought it was, the best way for me to be able to add value to, some of the kids in our state, get a, Route God is his Instagram. He trains a lot of the top guys in the NFL. So bringing him in and, giving some of the high school kids in the state an opportunity to train with some NFL guys as an NFL trainer. And also anybody that wants to, see these guys that are going to Michigan or Michigan State or these big schools, you get a chance to watch them work out. And, so you can be excited to watch them go and throughout their careers in college and hopefully the pros. So, I thought it was big to be able to kind of split it up and add value to, each age group, whether it was elementary, middle school, and then some high school kids, and then also kind of find a way to make it all encompassing and bring together the community with different things like the dogs and the sevens basketball tournament, which is like a $2,000 cash prize. So it'll be all types of stuff. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're helping underserved animals, youth development, community building, military families, service members. So you're doing, I mean, it's the trifecta there. And if you're not going to the event, which everyone should go, whether, like you said, if you have someone participating in the football things or not, it's still an event you can go to if you're here locally. Right. If you want to help out, there's ways to help, even if you're not attending. You can contact, and I'll put the email in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. It's Chrissy@thepodiumgroup.com. That's who you reach out to find out sponsorship opportunities, vendor spots, because you mentioned you have some of the food trucks coming. So it'll be a big event. We have a lot of people here locally that listen and watch. So please come support.
Yeah, and also,
out there. We'll check
and
it
also
out.
the $100, it includes a few things. It includes a T-shirt, autographs, one-on-one pictures, food from the food truck. And also, if it seems like a steep price, there's opportunity for scholarships. A lot of people that are donating and sponsoring the event are sponsoring just, to send kids to the camp. So you can also reach out to Chrissy if it's something that, your kid wants to do, but you don't have the $100 or whatever. There's ways that it still comes. So you can reach out to Chrissy for that. And yeah, like you said, I didn't touch on it. I was just talking about the camp, but overall the foundation's goal is to raise money for those 3 things, right? Military, special forces, underserved animals, and underserved kids in the community. So if those are 3 things that, are close to you or you want to be a part of, we are welcome to, working with people and building this thing the right way. So.
Love it. I love it. You mentioned being a part of something. I mean, you kind of talked about it earlier, but you're part of the Chargers now. And just to give people more of an insight to kind of what's been going on with you, we talked to you before free agency, and then now that you're a part of the Chargers, I want to get your thoughts now. You haven't really been able to fully dive into everything and be a part of a lot of things, but at least just your opinion. Can you kind of go into make the decision itself? And for me, because I know you grew up here locally, I mean, Jim Harbaugh around here is, that dude, one of the best coaches in the entire league. One of the best coaches, I think, on planet Earth of all sports. But what went into making that decision? And then can you kind of talk about the factor Jim Harbaugh played in it? He's the ultimate players coach.
Yeah, honestly, free agency didn't go how I expected it to go. I thought it was going to work out a lot differently, and I guess I had a different vision of how it was going to play out, and it just didn't. And after kind of all of it settled, and we ended up, going on a visit to LA and going into the building and meeting Coach Harbaugh, Coach Herb, the strength coach, Coach Bish, my tight end coach, just meeting everybody in that building and the way they built the foundation in that building, the type of people that are in there. It became pretty clear pretty fast that, everything happened for a reason. It was where I was supposed to be. It was a pretty easy decision. Like once I got there and, the facility is unbelievable. I didn't want to go West Coast, originally. I'm like, man, moving my family all the way across the country, time difference, the baby, like, man, that's the last thing I wanted to do. But now that we're out here, it just, it seemed like the perfect fit. The wife and the baby are super excited about it, getting to live somewhere warm for the first time. So I've been in Central Michigan, New York, and Minnesota. So we've never been anywhere warm. And, so she's really excited about that. And obviously, obviously living in Michigan. So I mean, there's a lot of, once we got here, there's just, everything pointed to it was meant to be. And this is where I was supposed to be.
And Tyler, appreciate you joining the show, but I got to ask you, as a tight end, you're probably a happy man right now too, because Justin Herbert, I'd say that's a very talented man, and it's nothing against the quarterback situation that was going on in New York, but I would say that it's definitely an upgrade going on, what you got going on in there in LA. What's it like, if you've met Justin, what's it been like so far, but what's it like going into an offseason knowing that you have a quarterback of that caliber that's going to be throwing you touchdown passes?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, next thing we didn't talk about Coach Harbaugh. I love Coach Harbaugh so far. I was very interested. I kind of ignored that first part of the question, but I was very interested in meeting him. I met him in passing because of my tight end coach being, Sherrell Moore and him being the head coach of Michigan now. So I met Coach Harbaugh a couple of times when I went up there, and but really getting to know him now, like, it gives you a different appreciation for just the authenticity and the type of man he is, and. I'm really excited to play for him. It's hard to explain how he is or who he is until you're with him. But it's awesome. And then on to the quarterback situation. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? Being in New York, I think that's the beauty of football. Like, it's such a team game. There's so many variables that go into the way somebody's career pans out, the way somebody's season pans out. How long you stay in the league. There's a lot that you can do on your own. There's a little bit of luck that needs to happen for you, and there's also a lot of things that kind of need to align for it to work out for you. And New York I thought it was going to be a good situation at one point, and there was definitely good that happened in those 3 years. But the quarterback situation was a little bit of a carousel, I guess you could say. I mean,
that's an understatement.
I mean, eight quarterbacks in 3 years. 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years, 2 head coaches in 3 years. I mean, it's just hard with that stability, and especially at tight end, right? Like, you think about all the, tight end quarterbacks, like a lot of great tight ends tend to be with a quarterback for majority of their career, right?
Right.
Gronk, Kelsey, there's all types of guys that were kind of had their guy for a long time. So, the quarterback thing was difficult. And then you come here and, a team that just made the playoffs, and, a quarterback like Justin. Honestly, coming into it, I hadn't watched him a ton. Like, I knew how talented he was. I knew, I always heard the hype or, people talking about him, but I never really paid too much attention to it. And then after being here for a couple of days, it's pretty clear just how special, I guess, he really is, right? Like, he's mobile, he can move. He can make any throw so easily. He's just a good dude. He's so far. I mean, it hasn't been a ton, right? A couple OTA practices, but he's just easy to play with, easy to talk to, and he's a hell of a competitor. So I think it's a really good opportunity for me after the carousel of quarterbacks over the last 3 years.
I mean, that's the last thing we talked to you about too. We're like, dude, I mean, we're excited for you. And obviously, like you said, it didn't go how you expected it to, but you're in LA, you got a great coach, you got a great quarterback. You're in sunny, you're in California, man. You're in sunny weather, you're on the West Coast. I mean, so we're excited for you. We're fired up about it. Klotz, you can ask your next question. You can go.
Yeah,
ahead.
so I was asking you about Herbert, but I want to ask you about somebody that I love, especially I'm a Lions fan. Love watching Amon-Ra St. Brown, but somebody else that you guys got in LA that I really like is Ladd McConkey. And obviously, you being a tight end, he being a slot receiver. What is it like now that you can have – you had Garrett Wilson in New York, who I'm an Ohio State fan, love Garrett Wilson. But Ladd's a different type of player as far as what they do. What's it like knowing that you have Ladd on the team with you now?
Yeah, he ran a route today, or it might have been something he did after the catch, and I looked at one of the tight ends, I'm like, man, he's special. And the dude was like, it was a younger guy, and he was here last year, and he's like, yeah, bro, just wait. Like, he does some crazy shit. And, I mean, I've been in a cool situation. Like, throughout my going on 8 years, right? Like, I played with some really good receivers.
Yep.
I got to Minnesota, I was with Diggs and Thielen, then Justin. So right there, I mean, Jets probably, depending on your opinion, the best receiver in the league, if not, top two. And then, then I go to New York, and you got Garrett, who, obviously a young guy who, can do whatever he wants on the football field. It's just like he's out there in the backyard having fun. Then Devontae comes, and he played Devontae Adams, who also, up there.
That is an insane 5
he could
name off the top of the head.
Yeah, I mean, he could be your he could be your number one receiver, right? It's just an opinion thing. Like, everybody has an opinion. Could be Justin, could be Devontae, yeah, it could be Garrett. I mean, it just depends what you think. I mean, they all do things differently, and they're all special for different reasons. And then now, Ladd, obviously just a rookie last year, whatever he had, 1,100, 1,200, I don't know what his numbers were, but second round pick, crazy year. And I just see it, and I'm like, man, I could see like him and Justin being together for a really long time, just doing some really special stuff. Like, I was thinking it'd be really cool to come into a situation where coaches have a plan for you, a quarterback that you can top quarterback that you can build with and like get on the same page with and just go out there and ball with. Like, that's the recipe right there to go and have an even better career than you could have already had. Like, you could have already been a Pro Bowler or whatever, and that might make you a Hall of Famer. Just the consistency of stability, with a coaching staff. Like, Harbaugh comes here 1 year, they're in the playoffs. Like, you're gonna have some consistency with Coach Harbaugh, right? And you're gonna have to see at the quarterback position, and that's how I feel like guys transcend and become Pro Bowlers and Hall of Famers and whatever. Not to say who knows what's gonna happen, but my little bit of time being here, he's pretty damn good.
Well, let me ask you this final question, Tyler, for you. The Lions signed a former teammate of yours, and I'm interested to see kind of if you have a perspective. If you weren't that close, it's fine. But if
I was gonna mention him. That's my guy.
You know what? Hey,
I was gonna bring it up.
You know what?
Let's dive into it. Like jumping up there with J-Mo yesterday or something. Look up.
Yeah. The guy. I think he's slept on as a corner because he's not. He goes to work, man. I mean, DJ Reed. Obviously, we didn't watch a ton of Jets football, but knowing football, who DJ Reed is. Play alongside Sauce Gardner, but they brought him in to be the number one corner. Can you kind of talk about, just for Lions fans, that perspective? What are they getting in DJ Reed?
Yeah, DJ's a hell of a player. I think the big thing with DJ is just the consistency. I think the way he comes to work every day, the way he is as a pro, like, he's going to take care of his business. He's going to take care of his body. He's going to do the right things. He's going to practice the right way. He's going to go to walk through the right way. Like, you have someone that's going to perform well night in and night out because he does the right things. He prepares the right way. He's a pro's pro. So I think when you have someone that does stuff like that, you're gonna get the result on the field, right? Like, the type of player he is. He'll come up and tackle. Obviously, he can cover. He got paid what he got paid for a reason. But I think the big thing that, like, as a fan, you can have faith in is, like, he prepares and does things the right way. So, he'll be consistent on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. We play every day of the week now, Fridays, Thursdays, Sundays. I was actually thinking about somebody else. I was thinking about Malik Taylor because he just signed their wide receiver. But
I did, yeah.
DJ's a dog, though.
Yeah, we're excited to have him, man. We appreciate you, man. We'll see you. We'll see you at the event. Again, for those watching, June 21st, Saturday. Again, we'll post more information here on our channel. But if you want more information, we'll post the email that you can contact. Again, you could be a sponsor, vendors, of course, tons of things to do. But Tyler,
just come out, have fun, bring people, eat.
Yep.
Watch. Bring your kids, have a good time, whatever.
That's what it's about.
It's more about the community than it is about anything. So.
Right. Hey, we appreciate you, Tyler, man. You have a good offseason. Appreciate you joining the show, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, my friend.
All right, appreciate you guys.
All right, there you go. TC joining the show, talking some ball with the fellas here.
Love it.
Good to catch up with him, man. We're fired up about him. I'm telling you right now.
I can't wait to go to the event too.
Yeah, you drafting tight ends in fantasy. Draft that dude at some point. He's a sleeper. I'm telling you, with Justin Herbert, dude, he's putting up 600 yards with like Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're telling me with Justin Herbert, he can't put up that production, if not more. I mean,
Chargers are going to be good, man. We talked about it. I think they definitely have a chance. I think they will. If I had to put my money on a gun to my head, as Booner would say, and I think he said it, same thing, is I think the Chargers, they win that division. I'm not just saying that because Tyler Conklin just joined the show, but that team with Jim Harbaugh, I know that the 49ers roster that he had when he was there was a little bit more talented than this Chargers roster, but they went to the Super Bowl in his second year.
Mm-hmm.
They had Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, the whole situation. But now they have Justin Herbert. And so I just think there's a chance. They're going to have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Defense is going to be great. There's going to be a physical football team, and Jim Harbaugh is going to win a lot of games there this year.
Yeah, I've said it, and people will think I'm crazy for it, but I think he's one of the best coaches on planet Earth. Like, And I'm talking coaches, like what he did at Michigan, what he did in the NFL. Like, not too many coaches can translate like that. Even though he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, he was in a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
lost by a field goal? I think it was
Lights went out. Yeah,
with Colin Kaepernick. And Colin was playing well that year, but still, he's gonna do some good things, man. All right, Boone's still on IR. He's still not here.
Fighting.
So, man, Friday. I think the last 3 Fridays we have now had all 3 of us.
That's what I'm saying. There's something. There's something in the air.
In the air, dude.
There's going to be a day where you just got to hold it down on a Friday for 2 hours, Jeff. Prepare yourself.
Or I might be out next Friday, man. Watching like lightning strike my house or something, man. I don't know.
Maybe it'll just be the Klotz show then.
Yeah. No.
Just running through film. Running the Jawan Jennings, Ladd McConkey, RJ Harvey film. Xavier Restrepo. You see how he's been doing? You know the hype about Restrepo? Shocker. Is it not? Is it not a shocker?
No, it's not a shocker. I'm not going to say it's a shocker. All right, let's get to this. Let's get to some of this Dan footage. I got Dan here talking about Jameson Williams, which that's what the people want to know. He got stronger. He's in the weight room. Let's see what Dan had to say about J-Mo this season.
And it's another one. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves in OTAs, but I mean, there's so much versatility with him. There's so many things that we can do just with his routes on the outside. I mean, we can do things inside, but just with his speed and he's gotten so much stronger. You know, his ability to stop, put his foot in the ground. Man, when you can run like he can run, and now you're beginning to where, man, you can stop on a dime. I mean, you talk about a hard cover. So the sky's the limit for him. He's exactly where we want him to be right now at this point, man. He's been here, he's grinding, he's getting better. Scotty's freaking grinding him. It's awesome. But we expect him to have a huge season. We really do, man. He's gonna be one of these guys that we're gonna lean on this year, and it is really gonna be big for us. And all he's got to do is just keep working like he's working, and we'll be good.
I have a question.
All right.
I have a question. It's good that you're here because this is the perfect one for you. And I want the chat's opinion on this. Yes or no? Would you be shocked if the season ends this next season, after this season, and Jameson Williams is leading your team in receiving yards?
Yes.
Would you be shocked? Yes or no? Chat, yes or no?
Yes.
If he's leading your team, let's say it's like he gets like 1,400, Amon-Ra gets like 1,100, 1,200.
Yes, I would be shocked. Absolutely. I thought you were going to say second or maybe like 12. I would be.
Would you be shocked if J-Mo leads the team in receiving yards?
Not saying it's impossible, but like, okay, and this is going, and I'm not going to go down the well. If Amon-Ra gets hurt, J-Mo has, and Booner, you and I have all said it forever. Jameson Williams is the most talented wide receiver on this team. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the best wide receiver to step foot on the Detroit Lions since Kelvin Johnson. There's been great wide receivers too. There were guys like Marvin Jones who you could kind of scoff at. But if you look at what Marvin Jones did when he was in Detroit, was great. Golden Tate. Guys like Kenny Golladay. Like, they've had good wide receivers, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is an all-pro. Jamison Williams is a very good wide receiver and is a more talented wide receiver. But if it's 3rd and 1, you'd rather throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. If it's 1st and 10, you'd rather throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. If it's 2nd and 5, you'd rather throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get more targets. He's great after the catch. He's a great route runner. Jamison Williams is still a elite talent and a very, very good wide receiver and will prove to be one of the best wide receiver 2s, if not the best wide receiver 2, depending on what T. Higgins does this year. Jordan Addison, Devontae Smith, all those guys, what they do. But Jamison Williams has the potential to look like he could lead another team in receiving yards. Like if you were to look at the Arizona Cardinals, even with Marvin Harrison, if you had Marvin Harrison and Jamison Williams, I would tell you, well, Jamison Williams is probably going to have more receiving yards. If you were to put him on the Seattle Seahawks, even with JSN, I would say, well, he's probably going to lead him in receiving yards. The 49ers, there's probably half the league that you could look at and say, I wouldn't be shocked if J-Mo led the league in receiving. But if you were to put him on the Philadelphia Eagles with A.J. Brown, the Rams with Puka Nacua, CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys, like once you start getting into these top 5, top 6 type of guys, even top 10 for the most part, I would be like, you know what? Yeah, I would be shocked. If you were to put him in Washington with Terry McLaurin, I would not be shocked if Jamison Williams led the team in receiving yards, but not with the Detroit Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would be shocked.
So this is where I'm coming from with this. I see the chat was kind of split on it too. I think because I said J-Mo will be 2nd on the team in receiving yards. I think Amon-Ra gets back to his original, 1,400 yard season type of season. But we have to, I have to even think about the time he had 1,500. What was J-Mo? He was like a 400-yard guy.
Yeah.
He's not that anymore. That has to start. We have to start kind of adjusting how our mind handles this stuff. Me too. Because I'm thinking like, oh, Amon-Ra's going to get back to 1,500. But then I'm going, well, shit. I mean, that was when J-Mo was, he was a Cub still, he wasn't a Lion. He was a Cub. You know what I mean? Now last year he gets 1,000. What does Amon-Ra have? 1,200. So it's like Amon-Ra's production, although the catches are always going to be Amon-Ra. J-Mo, he might have some games, man. He might have. Now, the consistency is what we talk about with J-Mo. But let's say he fixes some of that consistency. Him and Goff are on they have a better rapport, and they're working through the season. He's not having these games where he has like 1 catch for 8 yards. Let's say it kind of gets rid of those. Upside-wise, like how many games is Amon-Ra going to go 7 for 160? You know what I mean? He's done it. But I'm saying J-Mo could get 3 for 150. You know what I mean? He could literally get 3 catches and go for 100.
Or he could get 3 for 47. Well, Amon-Ra gets 8 for 110, and then the next week gets 5 for 90.
Fair.
That's
it's about to me the consistency. It's like it's how do you utilize J-Mo? If they want to utilize J-Mo as just strictly a deep downfield threat, big play guy, it's more. There's a lower chance I think he leads the team in yards because you're banking on big plays. But if they want to make J-Mo more of a complete receiver where he's catching, 10-yard out routes and over the middle, his route tree opens up a little bit and you factor in he could take it over the top. I'm not going to sit here and say
I don't think they're just going to use him as a deep threat. I know that's not what you're saying, but I think
that's where I'm
look
coming
at this
from.
Lions offense, right?
I mean?
Like you have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes, who does everything.
Elite guy on his way to be a Hall of Famer. His game is in the middle of the field and kind of shorter to the middle. Then you look at Sam Laporta, who I think is going to have a big year as well. The middle of that field and how reliable and consistent those guys are, you're going to have J-Mo expanding his route tree for sure. Like he's going to get some more of those targets than he did in his first 2 years. Like you're going to see J-Mo, I bet, get more 5-yard hitches. He's going to get more dig routes, things of that nature. Like I think J-Mo in the first couple seasons, we saw mostly deep shots, crossers, screens, reverses. But I think this is the year, and this is why I think they came out and said that he looks like he's on a different level because now he's on that level where you can ask him to run any route. The problem is he's got 2 all-pro level guys in that same kind of in the same offense that are in that same tier as far as these guys are already great route runners. They've been doing it for a while. I don't see the chemistry from Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff ever breaking as far as being like that's his go-to guy. I don't think that ever changes throughout the course of their time together. Jamison Williams can have a great year, have 1,100 yards, and prove me wrong, and that he has have as many yards as Sam Laporta. He beats him. But I still think Amon-Ra St. Brown will always be this team's leading wide receiver. Calvin Johnson, was never second in the team in receiving yards. Justin Jefferson will never be behind Jordan Addison. I think it'll always be that type of case with Amon-Ra.
I think that's fair. And like, again, there's a difference between would I be shocked and what do I think? Would I be shocked? Not necessarily. What do I think? He's second on the team in receiving yards. That's what I think happens. But I think we both agree he has the talent. You know what I mean? He does. And I don't think it's going to, again, I'm not saying the guy's going to get 1,600 yards, but what I'm saying is lead the team. I mean, you could lead it by 10 yards, for goodness sake. I mean, it doesn't have to be by hundreds of yards. But I still believe Amon-Ra gets back relatively close to that 1,500. I mean, you want to say 13, fine. You know, I think Amon-Ra is back and he's still that safety blanket to your point. And you're going to play some tough games, and who's he going to go to? His safety blanket. You know, the guy who can he'll have a catch for 8 yards, but he'll have about 7 of those things again, you know, like,
and then he'll finally have the 40, 50 yards.
40. Yeah. And then he'll have the yards after catch play where it's 30, 40 yards. And now you get $120 for like 8 catches, whatever. So I mean, I'm going to play this clip of J-Mo because he talked about last season and kind of growing, but let's take a listen to Jameson Williams here.
Tasted that leaving your mouth.
I'm not even worried about last year. You know, we got a whole another year ahead of us. Last year is in the past. We can't dwell on what happened on January because we got a whole another 17 guaranteed games ahead of us, and we're trying to go do the same thing, go further, and hold up the trophy in February.
Holding up Stanley Cup.
Hanging up Stanley Cups. Yeah, shout out J-Mo, man. I'm fired up about him. I got a lot of clips here. I mean, I have Dan also. Dan talked about the doubters because of course, one of the questions to Dan was, you know, people doubting the Lions. And I think it's good. You should try and bait Dan into answering these questions because he always has a motivational speech for every time. He has something badass to say. So let's take a listen to Dan talking about people doubting the Lions this past offseason. He's talking to you, Rob Parker.
We're not going to give us any nugget you need to. All right, it's all good. We'll take all of that. So give us every excuse, and we will use that, especially when the time is right. But we're not worried about. I'm not worried about that we don't have pass rush. I'm not worried about that we lost 2 coordinators. I'm not worried about the injuries. I'm not worried about the Hall of Fame game. I'm not worried about the schedule. I think it's perfect. I think it lines up perfect. I think it's going to be what's best for us with where we're at going into 2025. My 5th year here, the core of this team's 5th year. And I really think it's exactly what we're going to need. You know, the timing is perfect.
I'll say this. I think that is as on brand as you can get with Dan Campbell. Like, he's not that dude. Is there any chance Dan Campbell looks at the media and says, schedule's really tough, boys? Like, I'm a little nervous. This pass rush, I'm a little nervous about this pass. No, like, Dan's not going to, because Dan understands that does nothing for the team. You know what I mean? Bitching to the media or complaining or doubting something does nothing. You know, he's not going to break. I don't think I've ever heard Dan. He's probably said shit like when the team's messing up, he'll point it out and be like, this is frustrating. We need to get this right, whatever. But I'm talking about, like, if they ask him a direct question about the pass rush, he's never going to be like, well, yeah, I mean, shit. We're not really.
We got Davenport out there again. Can you believe this?
What? I mean, boys, we got Davenport again. Let's just hopefully he can make it through half the season. Like, he's not going to.
Za'Darius is out in Cabo right now, having the time of his life.
Yeah, like he's not going to say any of that. But what I will say is, Dan, you don't have to. We'll say it for you. You're not going to really know, and he brought this up, the pass rush, you're not going to really know too much until training camp, you know, when the media starts to report it. But even then, you're not going to really know until the season. You know what I mean? You're not. Because I can already see how training camp's going to go, Lucas. I already can see it. And we go there every year. We're going to go there this year. Hopefully we run into people. But I already know how it's going to go. We're going to go down there. And then we're going to watch day one. It's going to be nice. And then we're going to read all the reporting. By the way, they do a great job. This isn't me taking any shots.
Shout out,
but
Doc.
it's going to be Davenport looked quick today.
Levi Onwuzurike looking fresh off that 1 year prove it deal. He's ready to prove it. Breaking news. Levi O ready to go.
That's how it is. And that's not a bad thing. Like I get it. It's going to be like, remember last year? I'm trying to remember like reporting like Darius Fountain running with the ones. Like, I mean, it's like that's what we get into. You know what I mean? We get into these like it's just traps, man. That's what it is. Darius Fountain running with the ones. Remember Matty Betts? Like he blew up a play. Like it was like
Matty Betts.
None of
There's
most of that shit never translated to the season. And we learned that very quickly. Donovan Peoples-Jones, my guy. That kind of did translate to the season.
Yeah.
But I digress. That was one of the storylines that did translate. He didn't do anything in training camp. He didn't do anything when the season started.
Broderick Martin. Looking slim, looking fit.
Yeah,
looking like
one.
He's in good shape, ready to go. Broderick Martin.
See, shit like that. So it's like, you're not really going to know anything about this pass rush, dude, till week 1. And I know that's not what people want to hear, but it's just the reality. Like, if it doesn't go well, you know what this trade deadline is going to be like. It's already going to be most of media. Who should the Lions trade for? Hopefully you don't have to deal with that. Hopefully they figure it out by then. But I love Dan's response, man. That's what he's supposed to do. You know, you're not supposed to. Your players, as a leader, you can't have your players looking at you like, what the fuck? Like, as a leader, you can't go in there and be like, hey, boys, I mean.
Dan's nervous. He's sweating a little bit.
Yeah, we're fucked, boys. You know, he's not going to say any of that. Beanbag Broderick. What's going on with the Beanbag?
I like the sound of it. Instead of
Beanbag
Big Body Broderick, it's now Beanbag.
Big Body Broderick. It was like him pulling the ATV. Come on, man. Malik's 15 games played was his healthiest season, and he had half a sack. Okay, not.
It is a while. What was it? It was the contract year. It was the last season with the Saints. He had 9.5, I want to say, and then he got paid big money. Shouldn't have got paid big money. Didn't produce. Lions gave him $6 million for a year.
Yeah, but I gotta see. There's something. What year was that? Was that Minnesota? Or no, that was his last year in New Orleans. Yep, he had 15 games. Started in 9 of them. He had half a sack, but what was that? 15. I want to just see like if I can see snap counts. Yeah, he played.
You're gonna go digging for something positive, and it's gonna.
No, I got nothing. I don't. He played 490 snaps, which was the second most in his career, and he had half a sack. So what I was gonna do is say, how many snaps did he play? I just found out 490. So
got home half a time.
It's
half a time. He went in the front door, and then was like, you know what? Feel like I shouldn't come home right now. I'm gonna go back out, run to the gas station, grab some beer. Oh, tore my ACL.
I think the most snaps he ever played was Marcus played 532 in 2019, and he had 2019 he had 6 sacks.
The man taken before Lamar Jackson.
Hey, but the pressures. How many pressures did he have with half a sack? That's what people want. They like it now. The pressures.
Nope.
Not interested. You
Not
never know.
I sell. I will not buy. Sell. Hard sell.
That's fine. You can sell it. I'm not.
I still remember getting that notification about a year ago, a little bit before this time, and just seeing that Marcus Davenport has signed a 1-year, $6 million deal, and I genuinely just threw my phone. Like not angrily, just tossed it. I was just pathetic. But like, what are we doing here?
Well,
not too mad now because of the money.
Hey, Klotz, I have great news for you. This is excellent news. Hold on. Get fired up. Dan Campbell talked about Big Dav today. Big Dav, he said Davenport looks good.
I thought the Lions signed Darius Smith. I really did. I thought the Lions signed Darius Smith.
He said Davenport looks good. Again, it's early for him. We don't have pads on, but I like the guys we got in that room. We have in that room.
So this really wasn't about, okay, love Boone, but this is Davenport looks good. Like I bet Davenport or Dan was probably like, yeah, Davenport looks good. Again, it's early for him. We don't have pads on, but I like the guys we have in that room. Directs the attention off of Marcus Davenport.
It's like you're looking at like a 6 and you get a couple drinks in you, and you know, this goes for men and women, you know, and you got a couple drinks in you. Maybe it's like Davenport. Maybe, you know, maybe you're looking at Davenport now and you're like, he's better than maybe he's a pretty good player.
I mean, shit.
It's like put the
Oh,
bottle
no,
down, man.
yeah,
He's
okay.
not. He's not. You know what I mean? He's not. We know what Davenport is.
Have standards.
You have yeah.
Have standards. As Detroit Lions fans, it's important that we have standards, okay? I know that we've been through the bottom, and we've seen Trey Flowers be signed for a bag by Bob Quinn and the New England Patriots. The Quara brothers, as Booner loves to bring up, as he should. We need to have standards here, okay? I know we've been through the dirt, but we're at the top of the NFL right now. We're a Super Bowl contender. We shouldn't be having to be sold that Marcus Davenport looks good before pads go on. We should, as Detroit Lions fans, and again, we're going to speak because Booner's not here. I'll speak for him. Doesn't mean you need a top 30 edge like we're looking at in PFF, but at least have a guy that can consistent. We've been saying that a lot today.
Yeah, it's the word of the offseason.
Consistently will be out there. Doesn't have to be a world beater, but he's going to be out there for a fact unless there's a freak injury more than 8 games of the year. So
yeah. Well, Spencer, shout out to Spencer. I got to get Ty ain't taking his hat off. I got to go to Spencer there. Take care of the boy, man. Shout out Spencer.
Put a K in the middle of that name, not a C. We'll be all right.
Put a K, not a C. He said in his other comment, remember when Emmanuel Mosley looked good? I did forget.
Last year he looked good.
Yeah.
In training camp, I thought he was going to be the starting nickel. Beat out Amik, and then at first, then Amik would take it over.
We didn't know Amik like that. You know what I mean? We weren't familiar with his game as much. So that to be fair. And then Emmanuel Mosley still not on a roster. So yeah, I didn't even think about that. Don't look too much into the reporting when you see stuff. Just don't do it. Don't fall for it. Don't look too much into it. Well, speaking of that, I do have a video that maybe I'm going to look a little too much into. But Jack Campbell spoke today, and he talked about a couple things. One, he talked about Shep, which I'm going to play that clip, but he also talked about Anzalone, which I do really want to play that clip. So,
yeah, I'm interested in that one. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, let me here. I'll play this one. Sure. Let me make sure this is all right. Let's play this clip by Jack Campbell, and then I'll play the clip him talking about Anzalone, which I cannot wait for. But here's him on Shep. Let's get to it. Credit the Detroit Lions on that.
Shout out.
Just how excited are you for it? Honestly, the only difference is now he's got a mic in his hand and he's like in your helmet. So that's been good though. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. And the whole coaching staff on the defensive side has done a great job up until this point. We just got to keep improving. Just with the circumstance of the Hall of Fame game and stuff, we got less practice time, so we got to make sure we've been locked in. I feel like we've done a good job of that defensively and offensively and as a team. So we just need to continue to improve every single day and know that it's going to come up quick. So.
Is there anything that stood out with Shep versus what maybe Aaron did or focused on?
I mean, there's a few changes.
Shout out Doc.
And there's some things that I'm really excited about, and I think the back end's excited about, and the guys up front are excited about. So it's going to be good, I think. But again, it's a kind of, you got to learn with it. It's a little nuances within the call. That's a little bit different than what Coach Glenn did. So I'm just excited to see what happens, and we got the right guys in the room to do so. So I'm excited.
Yeah, shout out Doc. Doc was in there taking a little peek out there. You know what he said though?
Sure saying I'm an Ohio 8, Michigan 6. We'll give Doc a Michigan 8.
Yeah,
he was getting out there, boots on the ground. That's about as good as you can look. Come on, Doc. Good work. Yeah, good work getting out there, Doc.
Yeah, Doc, he did a great job out there. He was grinding. Yeah, but Jack, I think it's time. You got to let Jack loose a little bit. He talked about hearing Calvin Shep in the helmet. Get used to it because he's probably going to be.
Could you imagine before a snap? Like, let's say you had Josh Jacobs lining up on the other side. Okay, one of the hardest running backs to tackle in the NFL, but you hear Calvin Shepard. Jack, go lay this motherfucker out. I'd be ready to run through a wall. I mean, Calvin Shepard, I'll let you go too, but Jeff, Calvin Shepard's going to have this linebacker room at an elite level. Now, that doesn't mean that all of these players are elite. I think Jack Campbell will become elite, and Booner's going to be saying, I told you so. And we're going to be like, Booner, listen, we agree that he's going to be really good this year. He just hasn't been elite yet, but Booner will say, I told you so, as he can. That's his guy. Give Booner that power.
Yeah, that's his guy.
But, I mean, and I know I wasn't the biggest signing, but Derek Barnes, the fact that he has a defensive coordinator that's a former linebacker in the NFL, that help coach and develop him, Derek Barnes is going to be in an elite position to succeed. Alex Anzalone, when he comes back, and hopefully, I know we talked about it earlier that it could be more unlikely now that Frank's going to be holding out, if possibility of it, that Alex Anzalone, he'll be playing at a higher level in a position to succeed. I would say a little bit even more than Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn, I think he puts these defensive backs, like you look at Amik Robertson last year against Justin Jefferson, he puts them in elite situations sometimes. But Kelvin Shepard, being the defensive coordinator, being the linebacker that he is, I think this linebacker room, you got Aidan Hutchinson, you got Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph back there, but as a whole, consistently, maybe outside the safeties, will be the best part of this defense. I think they're going to be making plays in the passing game, getting to the quarterback with sacks, and then obviously stopping the run. But Kelvin Shepard is going to have these guys ready to go. Even Malcolm Rodriguez coming off an injury. I expect Malcolm Rodriguez to be looking like Malcolm Rodriguez as far as when he's in position to make a tackle, he's going to be making a tackle. Very few missed tackles will be coming from this defensive unit from the Detroit Lions this year. I can promise you that with Kelvin Shepard. And I know Aaron Glenn, it's not like, oh, Aaron Glenn wasn't doing it, but I just think with Shep, obviously there's things that Aaron Glenn is going to be really good at compared to Kelvin Shepard and when it comes to certain levels. And I think that Kelvin Shepard in some areas will be better than Aaron Glenn. Doesn't mean all of them, but I think when it comes to tackling, linebacker, dude knows how to tackle. He's going to be teaching this linebacker room and this defense as a whole probably some different techniques over time. And I think that you're going to see this Detroit Lions team on the defense side of the ball get a little bit more consistent with that.
What do you think about this? Rodrigo,
Trevor
all have elite.
You may have a case for Trevor Nowaski. Okay, we saw the interception last year. We see plays on special teams. We see the speed, the size. No, let's be realistic here. Okay, I would say Jack Campbell is the only one that has that elite intangible upside.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna tell me Malcolm Rodriguez. Love Malcolm Rodriguez. 6th round pick, 5th round pick.
Each is not the perfect TJ Watt, but they have that DNA.
That's fine. The DNA is not talent. Intangible. Intangible is something that's physically given to you that you can't. That's God given.
Yeah, their fathers might be like the mailman or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Who are they? Maybe their fathers aren't their fathers. Maybe their fathers are like these freak athletes. Maybe they're Watts. Because there's only really, truly a handful of those type of guys. I think I like Rodrigo. I think he's a fine player. If they needed Rodrigo to play, I'd be comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't know if he could start in other teams. But if we're talking about players with elite intangibles, it's Jack Campbell and Anzalone. You know what I mean? I think if we're talking about that level, I think more like Jack, he's going to be the better player. And this year, I think he'll have some more elite intangibles. He'll be even better in different areas. He'll solidify those elite intangibles. But, Anzalone still has some years left. But I don't know about Nowaski.
There's at that point, every player on the Detroit Lions has elite intangibles.
Might as well just say they're the best team ever.
Ben Neiman.
You know what I mean? Ben Neiman. Don't sleep on
stand
Ben
up. Neiman faithful, stand up.
Well, here's Jack and Anzalone. Let's take a listen.
Can't beat experience in the NFL. So
have you talked with Alex this offseason?
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked to Alex. He's doing really good. I got a lot of respect for him and everything that he's about. Obviously, he's not here right now, but I mean, it's totally up between him and everyone in the Lions organization. He's done a lot of great things for us. He's a team captain. I can't say enough good things about him. So that's between him and the Lions, and it's none of my business. And I got everyone's back and everything, up from Alex to the organization. Like, there's no bad blood between nobody. So, but Alex is a great guy, and this team really appreciates who he is and the player he is. So,
from your perspective, have you noticed any changes with the offense?
All right, they moved on really quick from that. I mean, I would have.
That was on the spot. Doc kind of put him on the spot there.
Yeah, Doc shook him up. That's why I love the Doc. He asked tough questions. Like he asked, I'm not trying to discredit anyone else in the media. They all do a really good job. I just think my flavor, everyone has their own flavor. I like Doc's style. I prefer, I like his very upfront. He'll ask difficult questions. You know, like he'll ask uncomfortable questions, and he's like, "You and Enzo talk?" He's like, "Oh, he like stuttered
Oh,
like
yeah, I
8
forgot about
times.
that. I didn't think we were talking about
Because
that.
he didn't think, I mean, he probably assumed that something was going to happen, but he was not ready for that question. You know what I mean? He was not ready for that question. And his answer confirms it is 1,000% contract related. I mean, he said it's between Anzalone and the Lions organization. Like, he could have been like, yeah, man, you know, he's earned it. He's a vet. He doesn't have to come to these. He literally verbatim couldn't say enough high things. That's like your boy, like you and your boy work at a job together. Like, you're going to be hyping your boy up. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, that dude's a hard worker. He deserves his raise. You know what I mean? This guy, he's first one in, last one out. Like,
Half the shift, he's out in the back on his phone.
Yeah, but you just gas him up anyway. That's what Jack was doing there, just gassing him up. You know what I mean? That's a real one.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that that's exactly why. So we have the clearance on it, but I shouldn't clearance, the knowledge
clarity.
of it. But the clarity, better word. Thank you, Jeff. But it's just, again, to your point, now that Frank's holding out, it puts this into an even more tight situation where how long is Alex Anzalone going to be gone? Is it just going to be OTAs? But that's just another cloud that doesn't need to be hovering over the Detroit Lions, because Brad went down the line. He's like, I understand new coordinators, tougher schedule, injuries. The one thing he doesn't bring up is Frank Ragnow holding out, Alex Anzalone holding out. These are things that the Detroit Lions are already kind of in a spot where, at least in my opinion, they haven't been in the last 2 years, where I think there's more of an uphill battle than they had last year going into week 1 and the year before week 1, where the NFC North was weak 2 years ago. And I think it was stronger last year, but the year before you went to the NFC Championship game, and the year before, and you're a Super Bowl contender now. So it's like the Detroit Lions should win the NFC. They should win the NFC North. This year, it's not as much of a certainty. So all these little questions, all these things floating around training camp and OTAs, obviously it doesn't mean that they're going to lose week 1. But they're just distractions that this team doesn't need. So I hate to see it. But when you look at Frank and you look at Alex Anzalone, those are two guys that are not just going to be holding out to hold out. Like, if they're holding out, I can respect it. I don't think it's anything that they know what comes with the things that the holdout that they're putting out right now. So I can respect what they're doing, at least. I don't think they're going out on social media bad-mouthing the team. They're trying to keep everything in-house. So I think the deal, at least with Frank, will get done. Hopefully it does with Anzo, but something to monitor for sure.
Well, Jared spoke about Johnny Moe, so let's hear from the quarterback here on the relationship so far.
I don't think the word rating is right, but maybe just the newness of this offseason, having to learn John, how much is
Yeah, sure. It's fun. It's fun. It's a challenge, and it's new stuff. It's new communication. It's different ways he likes to do things, and learning each other, and it's fun. It's a fun challenge. You know, it's something that we're working through every day, and something that's fun to overcome and get closer to being where we want to be.
We talked to him. He said that I'm not going to change much. It's been so successful. Just how subtle are the changes? Maybe with the casual fan notice it, and how much?
Yeah, I'm sure a casual fan would notice some of it. Yeah. Yeah, some of it's different, some of it's the same. You know, he's got a long background of stuff he's liked that he's done, and then he was here for a year through a lot of our success. So there will be a lot of that carryover and some new. And to be honest, I don't think that would have been any different. You know, if you're returning with the same offense, you always kind of add some wrinkles. But yeah, certainly he has his flavor on the offense and has been doing a good job.
Jared, it's going to be a storyline leading into the season. Hey, they have new coordinators, so much turnover in the coaching staff. Should it be? You're not the only team that's getting.
Well, it won't be unless you guys write about it. I mean, you guys have a pretty good control on whether that'll be a storyline. But no, I think to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I love Shep. I love Johnny Moe. I've got familiarity with Johnny, like I just said. I mean, some of it's changing, some of it's remaining the same. The biggest challenge is just getting on the same page with what we like, and we're just constantly working through that. And no different than any other of the new coaches here, learning, what we like, what we've done, getting used to, the way Dan wants to play games, and yeah, we'll be fine. But like I said, Johnny's done a hell of a job up to this point, and is only getting better.
All right.
Change, spare change.
Do we think Goff this year, new coordinator, you think he's in the MVP conversation?
No.
So you think that? No, you don't think so?
No,
I'm not saying top two, but kind of like last year, where he's like floating in that top 5 or whatever.
No, and it goes back to the conversation where this conference in the NFC, and this is perfect time for Booner to join, because I'm sure he's gonna have something to say. What am I looking? We'll get to that in a second. I like what he's doing, though. No, I don't. I think
Roger.
Jared Goff is
Yeah.
probably a top 8 quarterback in the NFL. But if you're asking me off the top of my head, who do I think will be the MVP guys? It'll be Josh Allen. It'll be Lamar Jackson. I think Jaden Daniels has a chance. I've brought up CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow. I think there's 5 or 6 guys that you could put in front of Jared Goff, but that doesn't mean that Jared Goff is not playing like Jared Goff. I just think when we look at last year, like the injuries and the just kind of lower playing quarterback performance we've seen have led to that. But I just think this year Jared Goff will be a very good quarterback, but I don't look at Jared Goff as an MVP guy this year. If you want to make value and say maybe I don't know where he's at in MVP talk, maybe he's top 12 and you can get him top 8, maybe. But I think truly in the MVP talk, no, I don't think.
It's tough. I think the case to make for Jared, if he has a similar year of last year, I think he has more of a case because of the schedule, how tough it is, and the division he's in. Like if they go 13-4, and he has 35 TDs, 35 TDs, 10 picks, 4,500 yards. They're 12-5, 13-4. They won the toughest division in football, and they're like a top seed in the East, or excuse me, the East, the top seed.
NFC North.
Yeah, you got what I meant. We're talking basketball yesterday. Top seed in their conference, like the NFC, everything. I think at that point, you might have a case to be like in the top 5. But that's like it. I just think some players, man, there's the reality of it is this. There's years, and Jared will be in the MVP conversation at some point in his career again. It's just how it happens. Guys are going to pop in, pop out. They have great years. He puts up the numbers, and they're going to have the record. So I wouldn't be shocked. But there's other quarterbacks that are like consistently in the MVP conversation, and that's okay. Like that's like Lamar Jackson. He'll always be a candidate.
Yep, Josh Allen,
Mahomes. Always, but Mahomes always. I don't know if Goff's going to be. He's not that type of guy which always going to be an MVP candidate. But yeah. I think certainly we'll see with Johnny Mo. I mean, he went into it too. Like they're not going to change it much up. Like I keep hearing that, dude, and it's like. It makes me so eager just to see it. I want to see this offense the way everyone's talking about it. It's like this transition is going to be easy.
Seamless.
It's going to be seamless. It's not that I'm trying to be like Rob Parker, negative Nancy, try and find an issue. It's just based on what happens in the NFL. Okay. And and I'll tell you why the Lions they could be different, but it typically happens to teams where their head coach isn't the play caller. They're reliant on coordinators, not fully. And I know people hate when people bring that up about Dan. It's not saying Dan doesn't know offense. I'm not saying that, but Dan's the type of coach where he empowers his coordinators. He gets involved, but he lets them play call. He gives them, that's a leader. He's like, hey man, I trust you with the play calling. This is your job. It's not like he's Andy Reid, where Andy Reid's the play caller. You know what I mean? Or it's like Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan. They're the play caller. Like they just are. Doesn't matter. Kevin O'Connell, he's the play caller. It doesn't matter who's the OC. Like he's calling plays. Matt LaFleur, he's the play caller. Ben Johnson with Chicago, he's the play caller. In Detroit, it's not like that. Like Dan's not the play caller. So just to act like just because X's and O's wise, it's going to be similar does not mean the play calling will be the same. I know Dan brought up too when he talked about it. He's like, well, I used to go up to John Morton and say, hey, give me a play, John. I need a play. And John would throw him a play and they'd run it, and they'd be great. But it's like that's different than there is an art to play. I've never been a play caller, but when you really, I've been watching football long enough, and then people in the chat know this because they've been watching football long enough. When you watch coordinators, everything, it's a chess match between OCs and DCs all game. You're setting things up. It's like Ben used to set up things later in the game that he would use. Maybe he would run it'd be a similar set, but they'd run a different play out of that set. Like there's so much chess happening. It's like, it's not like, oh yeah, same offense. It's like Madden where you're just hitting A.
Yeah.
It's
just to play for me.
So it's like when to call it, what to call it, how to call it, you know what I mean? How it's going to look. That's where I'm curious, Klotz. I'm not saying Johnny Mo can't do it, but I just got to see that chess match. Like, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. Like we've seen guys just fail at it, and trying to take over for OCs. It happens.
Because I don't think it's the same as Robert Saleh going back to San Francisco and coaching that defense. I don't think it's the same as Josh McDaniels going back to New England and coaching that offense as far as a play calling standpoint. I think even like Vic Fangio, you've seen him, guys that have been going around the NFL, Kellen Moore when he went to Philadelphia last year. It's easier to expect a seamless transition when you've seen these coaches and these coordinators either in the same spot or in a more higher ranking spot. Steve Spagnuolo was a head coach for the St. Louis Rams, went to the Chiefs, best defensive coordinator in the NFL. Johnny Morton, not saying that he's not going to be good, but he's going to have his welcome to the NFL as far as a coordinator standpoint. So will Kelvin Shepard. But when you look at this Lions offense, it's so complex because how much talent they have that you have to try to factor in all these players. Or if you can't get a player involved, it now becomes an issue off the field because if J-Mo's not getting fed for the first 2 weeks, why is J-Mo not getting fed? Why is J-Mo not getting fed? Feed J-Mo. Why is Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs? There's so many mouths to feed, and you're now going up against, compared to last season, so much more, a much more difficult schedule. Like we talk about going into Baltimore week 3. You're starting the season off against Matt LaFleur, who I don't think is an elite head coach, but when you look at the Packers and everything, that's always a close game. That's a division rivalry. That's a close game. Then you're going into Ben Johnson, and now you got Dennis Allen on the defensive side of the ball. Dennis Allen was a head coach for the New Orleans Saints. What was he before? One of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. Now he's going to be defensive coordinator in the NFL. That defense is going to be good. We brought up Baltimore, and then even like Cleveland, skip over them, but then you got a gauntlet coming down the road with Todd Bowles. Then you got Kevin O'Connell and blanking on Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings. Like the first stretch of the season is going to be tough. Not saying that they're going to shit the bed on the offensive side of the ball, but to think that this is just going to be a seamless week one, they're ready to go. Ben Johnson, it's good. Ben Johnson, even to start the season, there was a lot of things they had to work through. So Johnny Morton, I think will be a solid offensive coordinator year one, but he's not going to be having this offense in the top 5 in the NFL history like it was last year. No way, no how. It'll be probably top 5 in the NFL. Won't deny that. But I don't think it's going to be just to the same level of just blowing out teams, putting 50 balls up, 40 balls up. Are they going to put 40 points up on teams? Absolutely. But is it going to be as consistent? I don't think that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have more confidence, just my opinion, even though there's not much evidence for both. I have more confidence in Kelvin Shepard just because I think the former player thing helps. And it's more, even though it's more of a risk because he hasn't been working post NFL career as long in the NFL. Like he's still young. Yeah. He's like, I don't think he's even 40 yet. I think he's like 30 in his 30s still. So it's more of a risk, but there's something about him. I don't know. Like he seems like it's just, and maybe I'm doing the Booner thing where he watches like a press conference and he comes in and just fired up. I think that's what, I don't know if it's, but I and you were early on Calvin, but I got confidence in him. I think Johnny Mo I'm a little more skeptical. I'm a little more skeptical. And if you want my honest opinion, like
I would,
how you avoid, to be honest. You know how you avoid all of this? Dan just calls plays. Like this is the biggest. You're going to deal with this every 2 years if you have good play callers. Like if Dan would just, people tell me, which I understand, Dan could call plays. Like everyone's sleeping on his offensive mind, which I'm not saying is wrong. But if Dan would just call plays, everyone's doing it.
I understand, but at the same time, I'm happy that Dan knows, hey, maybe this isn't my cup of tea. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at.
It would be nice.
Me calling plays for this team probably isn't putting us in the best position. Could it put us in a good position? Sure. But when it's 3rd and 2, I might want to roll the dice. When it's 4th and 1, I might want to roll the dice. Maybe there's a guy out there, and Johnny Moe could be that guy, where it's like, Dan, Ben's over here on 4th and 1, emptying everything out. We should be handing the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, but we're not. We're doing flea flickers. We're trying to throw with the left tackle. What are we doing? Hand the ball off. Hopefully Johnny Moe can be that guy because maybe Ben bought into that aggressiveness of Dan Campbell and said, you know what, Dan, I got something for you. But maybe Dan in his aggressiveness needs to meet a guy like Johnny Moe and say, hey, crucial parts of the game. Don't have to ramp it down all the way, but let's be a tad more conservative.
I mean, this chat. I'm sorry. I mean, this chat is insane. This chat tonight's unhinged. I mean, first it's the bees. Now I'm a woman. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, I didn't see the woman transition.
Victoria says, has anyone checked on Booner?
Can I just hold on? I'm just gonna put this needs to be done. This is live. So Booner is alive, but he's in a laundromat. And he's not there. I mean, he might be there. I see somebody moving around. I wonder if they can like hear us in the laundromat right now.
What if like a homeless guy just walks across the camera?
He just takes his computer, be like, I need this shit. That's a quick buck. That's a quick buck. That's a night at the Night's Inn.
Yeah, I mean, that's Tyler. Something. He called us unhinged. Hit him with the bees, boys, and they start spamming bees. I mean, yeah, this is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on.
Just getting his laundry done, and he just felt like he wanted to hear us. Maybe I don't. I genuinely don't know. The horn.
We go to Booner. Booner, what do you think? All right, thanks, Booner. Appreciate it. He's at a laundromat. I mean,
it's maybe getting his load done. Pause.
I don't know. Ryan Gibson says, damn, you don't pay your employees enough to afford a washer and dryer.
Amenities. We can't afford the basic amenities.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I don't even know. I don't even know where Boone went to. Like, I don't think
that's what I like. He didn't go home, and his studio isn't far from his house.
The dude's got a dryer at the house, washer and dryer. I mean,
he absolutely does.
Why are you at the laundromat?
This place looks like it have Wi-Fi. And now he's trying to figure out what the Wi-Fi password is, and now he's probably moving his whole studio into the laundromat. I respect the effort though.
Yeah.
I just don't realize what the execution is.
Yeah.
And he joined like 20 minutes ago, and I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I haven't seen
him. It was just Booner's camera or a computer in a laundromat.
I haven't seen one person
walk
by the camera. So I don't know. It's
maybe
like
a crackhead did steal it, and now they're going to get ready for bed at the laundromat. And they didn't realize that StreamYard's open.
Well, let's get to one more video I got. Yeah, let's just avoid what's happening here. I got more footage I want to get to. One of them is DJ Reed, who Tyler talked about. It's DJ talking about the secondary, the safety room, all that. So let me play this clip, and then we'll see if Boone even shows life over at that place where he's at before we contact the authorities. But here's the here's the clip.
We see Booner starting to roll around in the dryer.
Yeah,
he got stuffed in. Boys, he's stuck. Like the scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where the dude Augustus Gloop falls into it.
You see him just in there spinning around in 360s. Boys, open it up. What the hell's going on here? Let's listen to DJ Reed. All right, let's get to DJ. DJ, what do you think?
Oh man, it's the same. I give the same energy back.
You spoke highly about this DB room before you even got here. Now that you actually go in the practice field with them, in the room and meetings with them, what is your assessment of them now?
What I thought it was. It's the reason why, Kirby and Brian Branch, I mean, you could arguably say that they're the 1A safeties. Like, you could argue that they are both the best safeties in the NFL right now. And, like, when you see them work day in and day out, it makes sense. And, like, even working with a Meek, you can see why he's the best nickel or one of the best nickels, just with the way he communicates, the way he approaches every day, and the way he works. And TA right now, same thing. Like, he hit me up a couple of days ago when I was practicing and was basically watching my film for me and telling me, what I need to work on. And he was correct, too, with what he emphasized I need to work on. So the next day I went and worked on that. So we got a good group, bro. And Ennis has been balling his ass off. He had a great day today. So, like, our whole DB room is full of dogs.
What do you think you bring that's different, if anything, to this team?
I think I bring veteran leadership to the DB room, especially with what we play. I think that I could just help guys with, reading quick game, reading 5-step, understanding what, offenses are trying to attack in our defense. And and just leadership as far as, how I take care of my body, what it is to be a pro on a day-to-day basis. I think things like that. But I'm also still learning because I'm in a new environment. So I'm still growing just from the playbook and what the coaches expect out of me as well.
From outside.
DJ Reed talking. I'm sorry, I can't focus with like these comments. This is too funny. I mean, it's like the hamster thing got me.
Quick update. Still nothing.
He's
Still
He's in there running around like a hamster on a wheel.
He's gonna walk across the screen with pajamas and no shirt on with a bowl. There he is. There he is. Look at him. Live in action. He's gonna turn around and be so why? He has a washer and dryer at home, bro. Oh,
They might not have power.
The power. I didn't even think about that. I hope he looks at the.
He might not
He's
have
gone.
power.
Then he's gone. He's just gone. He has no clue. He has no clue.
This is the
That's so funny. Well,
shit.
we do. Booner is alive. We can confirm. We can confirm.
That is the funniest, dude. That is the funniest fucking shit, bro. He's just doing laundry.
There's no reason to have this stream open. He's not even listening to the show.
I know he's not even fucking listening. What a douchebag, dude. I mean, guy's doing laundry. He's cleaning his fucking underwear during the show.
And you know what he's gonna say when he joins when we end? He's gonna be like, "Listen to the show, boys. Great show. Thought you guys crushed. Interview with Tyler Conklin.
Yeah.
Great question."
Yeah. Love the Conklin interview. He's washing his fucking, his drawers in there, dude. I mean, what are we doing? That's insane. That was the perfect shot. He just casually walked in.
He's adjusting that. Hey, shout out to AG's burner for Booner's fabric softener.
Yeah, that's
Hope he's not using the stuff they supply there.
If you're in the Emily City area, check out your local laundromat. Boone might have a setup in that bitch, dude. He might have
He goes outside. The whole chat's just sitting outside the laundromat for him.
I don't know. Just someone go in there and mug him. I mean,
please put it in front of the camera, jump him and rob him. Say this is for Rob Parker. Be Rob Parker's goon. Go out there and just mug him.
This is for Rob. He's like, what the fuck?
Rob Parker's watching and goes to track him down. We see the whole thing unfold.
Dude, I mean, no, it's crazy work. I mean, he said I'm gonna try and join the show. We're at 9:40 and he's still washing jock straps, like Edward just said. So, wow.
Back to DJ Reed, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, we can't do a show here with the guy washing his drawers. I mean, this is by the way, earlier Jomo talked. I like this comment too, talking about Johnny Morton. Here's the difference. Goff has a library to check to based on the defense. That is true. A lot of things Goff can check out of, so that'll be still the same. Like I said, it's not like everything Johnny Mo calls, Goff's gonna be like, let's run it. He might be like, what you just sent through my headset? We're doing something different. Who the fuck do you think you are, Johnny? I mean, seriously.
He just turns it on. He takes off the helmet, runs to the side, gets Jake Bates' helmet, throws it back on there, and goes.
Yeah, or he's got his thing on. He just looks at Johnny Mo. He's like, oh, I'm running that shit. Yeah.
God. Omaha! The line.
Yeah, that's like the Kobe, like the ISO, man. Call the ISO. I ain't doing that shit. Come on.
That's comedy.
Let's see. John Lord says we found out Boone's side job. He runs a laundromat.
It's all cover up.
Xavier says perfect setup for a horror movie.
Tornado. He would freak out if it started storming there.
Yeah, Boone does not like horror movies. Fun fact. Refuses to watch them. See, I love horror movies personally.
I wouldn't say I love a good horror movie. Sounds like I'm saying horror.
Yeah,
horror.
I'm not going to say but I don't think there's some of the movies that come on theaters are shit.
Horror movie.
Yeah, like if it's worth watching, I will watch it. Boone, on the other hand, not a big fan. He's not a big fan. So if this was a horror situation,
Booner would be the first to die. 1,000%.
He would be. Yeah, he would. I don't think he could physically go though. He's like,
no way you're keeping Booner quiet in a must be quiet situation. Like he's tripping the fuck out. He's gonna try to make a deal with the guy. He's gonna try to outsmart him something.
Yeah. We were like hiding in a closet, and he's like, boys. Like, shut the fuck up.
He knocks over the fucking coat rack or something.
Boys, I think he's in the room with us.
No, boys, dude. Doc just texted me. Frank Ragnall's holding out from camp. It's big. Life's on the line. He's talking about Lions OTAs.
Yeah, he is not.
Oh, you see the shadow. There's two. There's more.
What if he just starts? What if he has like a chick?
Somebody showed up. It's Rob Parker.
What if it turns into like? What if he has a chick over there? Like, hold on. He might maybe Boone's working.
Booner, I'm stuck.
Okay. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Yeah, we probably shouldn't stream the laundromat.
That would be We'd be back on the road to 1K.
Yeah. I'm not. Oh, okay. All right. I got a list to show you, Lucas.
We didn't even talk about DJ Reed.
Fuck it. No, let's not even talk about it. Here's a top 10 running backs heading in. I think it's for football, fantasy football. Hold on. Let me get this right. Hold on. Let me get the lower third out the way. All right. So here's the top 10 running backs. Fantasy football or no? I swear this place is.
It has to be fantasy. If you have Devon A-Chain in front of Saquon Barkley, you're on meth. Like you're peaking. Sweating. Scrapped metal already.
RJ Harvey 10. This has to.
Oh no! No, Jeff. Fantasy what? I would.
No, this has to be fantasy. Yeah.
But I would say, listen. Believe me later, Hefe.
Why wouldn't Derrick Henry be higher though in fantasy? The dude's a touchdown machine. I don't get it.
PPR reasons maybe.
Yeah, because
RJ Harvey's going to be a monster though. RJ Harvey's going to be a top 10 fantasy running back.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't give it. Steve Harvey, RJ Harvey.
Stop.
What?
RJ Harvey's going to be good, man.
RJ Harvey, Steve Harvey. What's the other one? Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that's quite the comp to pull.
Gibson 6.
That's fair. I mean, they put him over him. Nobody's saying that.
What
is RJ Harvey doing?
I'll take Travion Henderson over him.
No, I wouldn't do that. Travion's got a Ramondre there. What are you talking about?
Cute. Jameer has David. We're going to talk about that, or?
Yeah, but Jameer is better than all the running backs on this list, maybe besides Saquon. But he's got to split a backfield with a guy who's probably going to have 8-9 touchdowns again in David Montgomery. Checkmate.
Okay. Cold Cuts just said, Lucas, just checking in. I'm pulling up to Ohio. You cool with that?
Yeah, you can tap in. You're good. You get the pass.
Yeah, you okay? Bet. Cold Cuts. Appreciate it.
I lose jurisdiction once you get out the 419, though. So
yeah, that's
some people out in the 216. Can give you some clearance there. Not too tapped in Cincinnati. Would never go to Cincinnati if I had the choice. Hocking Hills might be fun, but that's not even Cincinnati. No desire to go to Cincinnati. So
you said
Columbus got a couple people.
You said the 219?
216. Cleveland, baby.
216.
Bron's a 216, baby. Respect that.
I do.
Your GOAT.
I do.
I got a 216 number. What you know about that? I don't got a 419 number. I'm affiliated, though. Some slight.
I'm affiliated. Your boy Bucky, though, that you left off your list, he's on this top 5. So
yeah, Bucky should have been on my list.
Yeah, and over Alvin for sure.
No,
I don't see. It's funny. PPR. You know. I don't care what it is. I was trying to think of something clever. Alvin Kamara's not on this list.
Yeah, that's fine. They're probably all under. Who did it say? Who came out with this or who
Top
wrote
one
it?
Fantasy.
All right. So I mean, I would
'Cause they don't
imagine
want his
the
3 yards a
football
carry,
the football guru behind this list probably is thinking the same thing that you and Booner are. But if you look back at Alvin Kamara, especially when you talk about fantasy football, I had him on my fantasy football team last year. Did me wonders. In 14 games, he had 1,400 yards. Multiple, 6, 7 plus 100-yard games.
Yeah.
Is Travion Henderson doing that? No. James Cook isn't on here. Where's James Cook? I got flack for A-Chain. A-Chain, if Devon A-Chain can stay healthy, he is the closest thing to Jahmyr Gibbs that's in the NFL. He's if healthy, he's a top 5 running back in the NFL. If healthy, when healthy. That's why he was at 10 on my list.
It's wrong, but I appreciate I appreciate the no, I appreciate it. He's fast. It's just because he's fast. That's all it is. You know what I mean? The guy's a blazer. I get it. He can catch the football.
Juke dudes out of their shoes.
That's cool.
What does Jahmyr Gibbs do?
Everything. Are you gonna make me defend the guy, or I mean, he's not.
Well, I love the Jahmyr Gibbs love,
if he was
but
healthy, he'd be Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon A-Chain.
If he could stay healthy, yes.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, what are we? No, this is not crazy.
You think he can get 2,000 yards, scrimmage yards?
If you were able to stay healthy, and which I don't think will ever be the case, over a 17-game season, Devon A-Chain absolutely would have 2,000 scrimmage yards. Absolutely. I don't even think I want to go look at how many he has already. Hold on.
I think he had about 14, 15.
Let's look up.
So I don't think it's that crazy, but I still disagree.
A-Chain career.
It sounds like delays, to be honest.
Hold on. So in 2 seasons, which he's had 1,700 rushing yards and 789 receiving yards for 23 touchdowns. And he played 17 games in his rookie year and had 1,500 total yards while splitting a backfield. And then he played in 11 games last year and had 1,100 yards. So year 3, if he were to have a backfield to himself, yes.
But he won't stay healthy. So
yeah, no, it's fair. That's why he's not Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Way too small. Like if they had a Demont down there,
well, if
they had him paired up with
you know what? No. If Javid Best could stay healthy, he'd be Barry Sanders.
That's not true. Javid Best was not to that level. Great back.
We'll never know. You just need to stay
exactly. We won't, but you'll see Devon A-Chain probably get 2,000 total yards at some point.
No, it's dumb.
Close to.
All right, let's get the mailbag. Drop your questions. We got about 11 minutes left. Yeah, Boone had some internet issues, couldn't join. And then he did join, and then now he's in a laundromat, which we keep panning to every 15 minutes. I'm confused. How am I looking into the camera? All right, drop your questions, man. Let's check in on Boone. How you doing over there, Boone?
Oh, you can see him.
All right, talk to you
Look
later.
at the little fish tank.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there with Boone, man. That's tough. If you guys want to go to the laundromat he's at, it's probably in Imlay City. So
I think I have his location. Drop Boone's pin.
He is at 5365. He reads his address. Everyone shows up.
Did you?
Rob
I wanted to ask you. Did you see the Pascal Siakam interview by chance?
Yeah, the goofball reporter.
That shit had me so weak. That was so funny. And then I didn't even realize it was the same guy who did the Caitlin Clark interview. And I didn't ever actually watch the Caitlin Clark interview. He should be fired, like banned.
Well, I know there's a lot of guys like that in media, though. They just try and rile up. They always have this stupid question, and they still get employed.
It's not even like riled up though. It's just like
dumb,
almost like
he asked Siakam. He asked Siakam what made them play harder than you, or like why didn't you play harder than them? Like that's like a dumbass question. Like I don't know. They just played harder than us. Like I don't.
Indianapolis, son.
Like I don't want to use it because I'm not a professional athlete. And I hate when people try and discredit people because they didn't play professionally. You know what I mean? I think that like if an athlete Like basically what TJ Lang did to you. It's like you didn't play football in the NFL. So like shut up. I hate that. But there are instances where it comes off like you really did not play football. You know what I mean? At least try and fit in, blend in a little bit. And when you ask a player, not a football player, but any like just an athlete, why didn't you play harder than the other team? That is a question that you would never ask if you played sports. Like, you know what I mean? Now, maybe not to that level, but you get what I'm saying. That's just like a dumbass question. Like,
no need.
Like, you don't ask.
Your brain's very bored to be asking this question. Like, there's not much going on up there.
That's a dumb thing to ask. Like, so what is Siakam supposed to say? Well, they, it's like the, Baylor played in the NFL, Torian Prince. With the rebound.
Yeah.
We went up, grabbed the rebound, came back down, or they did, and they did more of that than we did. Like he just broke.
Played
it down.
Yale, I believe.
Yeah, it was against
like that. How does Yale out rebound Baylor?
It's like that question. It's like I don't know, dude. It's just they caught more rebounds than us. I don't know what you want. I mean, come on. John. Oh, actually, we got more questions, actually. Oh, we got way more. Sorry, I got to start at the top. We got to start at the top. Ryan Gibson, MCDC. Hashtag MCDC. How many sacks do you think Davenport will have in the first 3 games? 1.
Give him half.
Xavier D. It's a good question. Xavier D. Mailbag. Do you see the reflection of the clown with a knife in the last lunch room shot? Yeah, it looks like a freaking Jason Voorhees scene.
It gets closer and closer every time we put on.
Boo just walks out naked. We're just
still has like slides on or something though.
Hey, he's got his Gucci flip flops on. Guy's just over there. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna find out after the show. John Lord Mailbag. What would be more scary, a B-NATO or a Snake-NATO?
B. Strictly because of the sound. Could you imagine the sound of millions of bees? And then I feel like you'd outrun snakes faster than you'd outrun bees too.
Yeah. The sound. I didn't think of the sound. That would be insane.
And I feel like one bite from a snake puts you down. Obviously,
you'd be suffered. We're just by getting stung 1,000 times.
Thousands of times.
Fuck the B-NATO.
Shitting all over
you. Guys knew my answer already, but fuck the B-NATO. All right, ball don't lie. Mailbag. What's your guys' second favorite sport behind football?
Basketball.
Hell yeah, Klotz. It's basketball. All right. That was
definitely
my first.
Not hockey.
Yeah. Well, clearly not. We found that out yesterday. We found that out yesterday. All right. Well, Ryan says, yeah, but bees are one-hitter quitters. Yeah, they do die after they sting you.
Yeah, but you get 1,000 of them. They release that pheromone shit where it's like, I'm in trouble, and then all of them. I was watching that one. I think AG Burner, he just talked about a Chinese hornet. Saw one 2 weeks ago. That's terrifying. You should probably move. If I ever saw a Chinese hornet, I would be getting out of the area that I'm in. But if like that, you release a pheromone, it's like an attack thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. I've gotten stung a couple of times. It's just not like that painful. But I don't like the thought of something going in my body. I don't like that, especially multiple times. Pause.
I didn't do that.
I swear.
Did you do that?
I swear I didn't do it. Okay, here he comes then. I'm assuming.
But he's not in the camera.
Whoa,
is this like a Halloween show? Like, who hit that?
This is bro, what?
Dude, no. I swear on my life, I did not hit that. Did you hit that?
I promise. My hand, I'm leaning back right now.
What the fuck is going on? Is this laundromat haunted?
He's got to be coming. Here he comes. Here he comes.
There it is. Oh, look at
there
this
he is,
guy, bro. Look, you can't hear him. Hey, blink if you need help. Blink if you need help. Blink.
No, we can't, Boone. Unmute yourself. You're muted. You're muted.
He's drinking. What?
Again, it's Timmy Hortons. Can't hear you. Boone, you're still muted. Muted. You're muted.
No, you're muted. You're muted, man. Unfortunately.
We gotta get a close up of this for sure.
He looks like
there we go, boys.
Oh, there we go. There
hey,
he is,
boom. Why are
Boom.
you in a fucking laundromat?
Yeah, this is a long story, boys. By the way, you guys had a great show.
We were panning to you. Oh, I know you listened because we saw you walking around putting
Great
laundry.
show. You guys dominated. You guys killed it.
Doors. Laundry in the fucking washer and dryer, and we panned to you doing it too. You're on air.
Boone looks like he's totally like he just woke up from a nap or something.
Looks like a horror. It looks like a horror movie.
The ISIS got me. That's what's happened here.
Jesus. Why are you at a laundromat?
The power went out everywhere. This is the only spot I could go.
And you have your whole setup there?
Most of it. Hold on.
Do you like know the person that owns it? Do you know the person that owns that? Oh, we just lost it.
Mike went out, Boone.
Dude, just in someone's laundromat with the whole setup doing a pod.
So funny.
Imagine someone walks in, like some dude just trying to do his laundry, and he hears Jack Campbell.
He's in front of his dryer that he has to get to.
Yeah, and he just hears Boone raving about Jack Campbell.
He had the setup. We shouldn't have asked what the setup was. It was good. I'm proud of you, Boone.
He's just yelling about like Booner path.
It's like Chris Paul cutting the lead to 40 in the fourth quarter. That's what he's doing. I mean, he's fighting with no audio. I don't know. He clearly can't hear us either because he's still talking.
All right.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Boom. Perfect.
Yeah, power went out everywhere. House, office, and I'm at the laundromat now. I do know the owner. My cousins own it. The cousins that own the office, they own the laundromat. So I'm here at the laundromat.
Oh, come on.
So did this explosion like take out all of Imlay City or like what happened?
It feels like it did. I thought it was a lightning bolt, like a tornado. And
a lightning bolt?
I thought, like I told you guys, I thought we were in cyber warfare for 5 minutes.
Did a transformer blow up or something, or what was it?
No, it was typically if a transformer blows up, it's like it was one of those big, like the big fenced-in places, like the big electrical things that power the whole city. And it was right next. It's 2 buildings over. So
you don't got power, right?
Power might be back on. From what I've told, it might be on.
If you don't, you can come to the crib.
Well, I've already had a backup plan. I was going to go hang out with Jeff tonight. I still might just go play Madden or something. I don't know.
You can come to the crib, man. If you don't have power, I hate not having power, dude.
It's the worst.
Never have that.
I think it's on. I think we're back. Yeah. So I was at the laundromat here, and I set up and did a couple things. I didn't want to interrupt the boys. The flow was very, very good. I thought you guys were having a really good show.
No, we were dying just panning to you, and you just walked by and threw something in the washer.
We're doing some towels.
It was funny as hell. It was hilarious.
No, my cousins were here, and we were all just hanging out, and the Tigers were on, and now I'm here.
All right, well, hey,
is the show over already? Can we hang out for a little bit?
No, I actually have to go. I gotta go.
Where are you going?
Taking my lady out.
Oh.
Gotta go grab a little
Me
appetizer.
too.
Maybe get some food.
Same.
More than welcome to come with us, Boone.
Where are you guys going? Chili's? I haven't been to Chili's in a while.
Chili's is not a bad option.
And can I say this too? I do love the chat a lot because I did see someone put in there, hey, $15 million or $1.5 million to release Booner. A lot of people said they would pitch up the dough. So I respect that a lot out of the people who watch us.
Yeah.
Sometimes people hate me. Those people stepped up.
Negotiate with terrorists, Booner.
They're the first to step up. Well, I would hope you guys would if it was me involved.
Oh yeah.
That's not what the United States of America. You know what they do? They go in Bin Laden, they find him, they kill him. And they rescue everybody there. That's what if somebody.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, we go in, we take over.
I did just watch that. I did just watch the documentary. One of the best of all time. I'll tell you what.
That doc's amazing.
Did I miss anything? How was Tyler? How was
T-Conk, I'm gonna be
man?
honest, Boone. We're gonna have to text him.
You didn't ask my question?
I forgot.
All right, we should have text over.
I was rattled.
Are we allowed to start a group chat with him? Is that a thing? Are we able to?
Yeah, just get his number. Right? Or just tell Mike to be like, tell him Boone wants a 1v1. Mike will text him.
It was a good interview.
Yeah, no, he was chill, man. He talked about DJ Reed. Him and DJ are tight, like really tight. DJ Reed.
Did you guys ask him if he's going to tight end you?
Did not.
No.
Boone. That's a good question.
Oh, that was one of my questions. I'm interested.
Hey, we'll do an interview with him when we go to the camp. You can ask him that.
Yeah.
It's in the
There's unreleased footage of me and him talking about going one-on-one. We never actually released the footage, but it was kind of funny. And the unreleased footage of us telling him Caleb's our fastest guy and him being like, yeah, okay.
Are you serious?
What else did I miss? By the way, too, can I say this too? Is he still in the chat? Hold on. I did see a comment earlier today that I wanted to address. Is the tour in the chat?
Oh, he was on one today. Boom.
Hey, I saw him saying that the report was wrong. Like everyone reported that Frank is unhappy with his contract.
Yeah,
it's not just me making it up. This isn't a breaking news. Like it's breaking news. It's not per Booner. This is per Dave Burkett and per Dave or John the Doc Macaroon. So this isn't nothing that I'm making up. I mean, it's all over Twitter now after it came out. That's like a legit, like, hey, Frank is unhappy with his contract. It's that simple.
Yeah, like AG said, he talked about Reed to working with the youth, and Route God will be at the camp. And
I don't know who Route God is, but I'm pumped up for
He trains
that.
wide receivers in the NFL. He's going to help the kids there when we go there. So
okay, shout out to kids.
Then,
what's the age? What's the age group for?
It's
for the
different
camp?
ages, like 6 to 8, 9.
What's
to
the
11,
youngest age we can do?
14 to.
The what?
The youngest age. I have cousins. Yeah. Oh, okay. I just have cousins. See, maybe.
Think about that, Boone.
Yeah.
I have cousins, nephews.
I mean, I got my brother. I think he's right on the cut line. I think he's 14. I think he might.
Oh, hey, you got to get him there.
Yeah, get your brother, and we could get some people there.
We'll see. All right. I appreciate you all. I got a boogie. You guys have a great weekend. I don't know.
I'll text you, Jeff.
All right. Much love to
Appreciate
you all.
the chat. Shout out to chat, man.
We'll be back. You guys are the best, man. The chat had me crying today.
Love you guys.
We'll see you Monday. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.